Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well, and you?
Pretty good. We got
Staying
the
healthy?
dress code going here, right? We got the color
Oh,
scheme.
yes, we do.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah, you staying healthy and your family?
Yep, so far.
Good,
Yeah,
good. Glad
staying
to hear.
inside. You too?
Yes, so far. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
yeah. And where are you again, Wanda? I
San
forget.
Diego.
San Diego. Yeah. I heard you guys had not that many cases or not that many
Well,
deaths or
we've
something.
had a couple spikes this week.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, the southern part of the county, closer to Mexico,
Mm.
has seen a pretty significant rise
Oh,
in the
really?
number of cases.
Mm.
So that's
Too bad.
worrisome.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so I have been very busy working on my website since you did that webinar last week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I have a few questions when we're ready to begin.
I am ready to begin. So, Peter, are you really
Okay.
there? Let's see if Peter's really there.
Oh, he's there twice, it looks like.
Yeah. And then someone else called in from 970. Who's that?
Hi, Becky. This is
Oh,
Deborah.
hey, Deborah. How are you?
Great.
Good. Okay, Wanda, why don't you dive in with your questions?
Well, I wondered if you could speak to your comment in the webinar about um, the material you have above the scroll line, because as I look at a couple examples that you gave, they have a logo and a banner. So I have to scroll to get to the next portion.
To the
So,
text.
yes.
Yeah.
So, which part are you talking about? Where's the scroll line
Okay.
you're speaking of?
Yeah. So let me actually share my screen and I'll pull up a site.
Yeah. See how that is?
Yeah. So with this one, yeah. So this is the home page.
Mm-hmm.
So there is the main thing is you can see the text without scrolling.
Oh, beginning to see the text. Okay,
Yes.
that's helpful.
Yeah. As opposed to other ones where the picture takes up the whole page and
Got it.
someone may think that is it.
I
There's nothing
see.
more, right?
I see.
So
Okay.
we want
Thank
to,
you.
yeah, we want to
Thank you
invite
for that
them.
clarification.
Yeah.
And then another question I had was um, I've watched a couple of videos on Surffox,
Hmm.
um, and I've tried to use it, but I'm just really fuzzy on how I use it and how it applies to my keywords and putting those on my website.
Okay. So
That's
those are
probably
two
a lot of
different
questions.
things,
Yeah,
right?
I would say that's
Yeah.
probably a lot of questions.
Well, yeah. So there's the did you so you took the client calls forever
Yes, that's
workshop.
the one I'm referring to. Yes.
Yeah, and in it, well, and also in PPU, you guys have the specialty page blueprint.
Right, and I've downloaded that, and that's what I've been working from.
Okay, good. So the first step is to do your keyword research and determine your focus keyword for the page. What are your keywords? Like what are you targeting? Hey, Marcella.
Well,
Hi, Becky.
I do couples workshops,
Okay.
and you all did a keyword search report for me.
Okay.
Um,
That must have
yeah,
been a long time ago.
pardon me.
That must have been a long time ago.
It was maybe a year and a half ago.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I think.
Hmm.
So the keywords I was looking at were couples counseling, marriage counseling. No, sorry, uh, premarital counseling, couples therapy near me, and marriage counseling near me.
Okay.
Because those seem to have, when I looked them up, and I'm sorry, I can't remember where I looked them up. I'm getting confused with that and the Google one. Um, those seem to be the ones that ranked the highest, if I was understanding the material correctly.
Okay, so we're going to do something here really quick. And I'm going to just close a couple of screens so that I have more. So I'm going to go to Keyword Finder, which is the tool that I pay for.
Okay.
There is a free tool, Uber Suggest, which is great, and sometimes it's really slow. So I'm going to do couples counseling, San Diego.
Yes.
And what we're going to find most likely is that couples counseling in and of itself has more search volume than Near Me.
Right.
Okay, so
Okay.
180 searches a month for couples counseling, 360 for marriage counseling.
Oh, wow.
Twice for marriage counseling.
Okay.
Couples therapy is in between the two. So if you don't want to just focus on marriage and kind of seem like you're not inviting couples who are not
Right.
married,
Right.
then you could go for couples therapy, and that would
Okay.
be a good option.
Okay.
But if you go down here and you see couples counseling near me or couples therapy near me, it's much, much less.
It's much,
40.
much lower. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was misunderstanding apparently what I was looking at
Okay.
or not knowing how to read it.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
That's
what you
helpful.
really want to do is choose maybe couples therapy as the main term. And then you could also have couples counseling and marriage counseling as secondary terms.
Okay.
You could even have relationship counseling as a secondary term. So in the blueprint, it talks about choosing, I don't remember how many, 3 to 4 different secondary keywords and sprinkling them in. And it tells you exactly what to do in terms of where to use the focus keyword and where to use,
And that's in the blueprint?
That's in the blueprint.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll relook at that. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. And so that's all the first step, right? Doing the keyword research, figuring out what your focus keyword is and your secondaries. And then the blueprint is the second step, which is actually writing the page.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to look at SERP Fox later to see how you're ranking, you can go do that. Okay. SERP Fox is all about determining where you're ranking once you do all this work and you're continually blogging and things are starting to rank.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, it does. I'm just searching for the positioning of the focus words, the keywords. I probably need to go back and look at what I printed and see what else may have been there that I missed. So I won't take up your time.
That's okay. You can also, post the question in the Facebook group later and we can get to it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Peter, you were next. You have questions today? Peter, maybe your mic isn't working or I don't know what. Okay, Deborah, you are next. Do you have questions?
Yes, I do. Related to SERP Fox, is there, I don't remember because I set SERP Fox up, 2 years ago. But it doesn't seem to be working right. I have keywords in there, and obviously they're going to be changed based on the greater clarity I got yesterday. But for right now, it's not pulling reports. It hasn't done a report since, December. And I thought it did it automatically.
You can set it up to do it automatically. I get a monthly report, which I find most unuseful, actually.
Oh, really?
I don't like their reports. I like going in and looking at what's happening. So let me just go into that really quick and show you what I look at.
Okay, walk me through it because I'm on the phone.
Oh, yeah, you are. Okay, I'm logging into SERP Fox now.
Okay.
You guys can help me describe what's happening here. I'm signing in. I'm moving screens all over the place because they're in my way.
You sound like me. I've got a bazillion open.
Me too.
Pretty soon I'm going to have to go stop my old cat from attacking my old dog. He's not yelping, so that's good. He's a big old lab, and she's this little petite cat, and she beats the crap out of him all the time. Okay, so I'm in SERPFOX now, and what I'm going to do is I'll just go to like my site, counseling wise. So I'll just click into my site in SERPFOX, Deborah, and then I'll go in and look at what's happening. Now, similar to me, you're going to have your location be probably the United States. You could have it be the world. I'm not sure if you choose the world.
It's the U.S.
Yeah.
The US.
Okay. Yeah. So I have the U.S. too. And then I'll just go in and look at my keywords that I've entered in and see where they're ranking. Okay.
Okay.
So I do get a weekly or a monthly report from SERPFOX, but it just tells me, here's where you're at for everything. So what? Like what changed, right? What changed between last time and this time? I don't think their reports are that helpful, especially if you have a bunch of keywords in there.
Okay.
So I would just go in and look every now and then and see how you're doing. And you can click on any one keyword. So I'm going to show you. I'm clicking on a keyword, the top one, AdWords for counselors. And I can see how it's bounced around a little bit. And then there's these magnifying glass things where I can zoom out. So I can see where I was like 10 years ago or something like that. I can see that like in December, I was jostling around and then I evened out again. And then I can zoom back in and just see the last month or whatever it shows me.
So it can help you to understand the cyclical nature, possible cyclical nature of the AdWords.
Yeah, of the keywords. Yeah.
Keywords,
and one thing I'll show you guys really quick before I hop up and get the barking dog in. Sorry, you guys. Such is the work at home life, huh? Mm-hmm. Let me just show you what is typical in terms of a ranking pattern. If I can find here, this guy is a really good example. So this guy is a relationship counselor in LA area, La Cañada, Flint Ridge in Southern California. Mm-hmm. But here's like a perfect example of what happens. He's number 8 for couples counseling. Well, maybe that's not the best example. Let me go to this one, maybe. Yeah, this one I have more data. So if we go back to when he started, we can see he started around position 24. But then as soon as you go into it, you start going up and down and all around, really erratic. This is Google trying to figure out who you are, if they can trust you, what you have on your page, whether it's really better than the other guys. And then at some point, Google says, okay, I trust you. And look at this. It took like from the end of September, beginning of October until beginning of December for Google to actually say, okay, we finally trust you. All right. And this is him adding blogs, right? He's adding blogs so that the page is getting more linked and all of that. And then you can see what happens. He starts evening out, right? He's evening out and he's slowly climbing, but it's not erratic like it was in the beginning. So in the beginning, just know that you are going to like swing 30 points up and down and up and down and up and down. That's just what happens. Could even be higher.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it'll even out and then you'll climb and you'll just steady. And right here, he's at whatever he's at, 11. But if he blogs more, he's going to keep inching up, and get higher and higher on page 1 and be steady there. Okay?
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, and related to that, about my specialty, I have an approach page written on my site, and I did not write it according to the specialty page blueprint because it didn't really seem to fit what I had mapped out to write for that page, but it's a long page. It's like 3,000 words. Mm-hmm. But I'm still thinking of doing a content hub around it because of what that specialty is and how well it's doing already.
Yeah, sure.
Would that work? Would that be a good idea to help boost that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally work. Content hubs are the key to ranking any major keyword. Okay, so having the big long page and then having the blogs that hang off of it and linking out and back, out and back, out and back, that is key.
Okay. So even though it's not the specialty page format, this would still be a good idea.
Yes, definitely. Even if you had, and I know, Deborah, we talked about this yesterday, even if you had a ultimate guide, that's totally not a specialty page blueprint format. It's a big, big, long piece of content, but you can still have that be the hub, and the spokes would be blog posts hanging off of that.
Okay.
And anyone else, you don't have to listen to that ultimate guide stuff. That's not meant to confuse you. It's just a conversation we had yesterday. And I'm going to grab the dog, and then I'll be right back. Okay. All right, I'm back. Hey, David. All right. So Marcella, do you have a question today?
I have many questions, Becky.
Okay, go for it.
Well, no, the thing is that, I mean, it has taken me forever to build my page, and I'm really I think I'm getting very close to publishing it, or how do you say it? Yes, I guess publishing it.
Yeah.
So I guess my questions are around kind of like what's next when you are where I am at. In terms of the blogging, I mean, I have heard you saying how important it is, but I guess I wanted to revisit that a little bit, like how often do you suggest at the beginning or in general to do the blogging? And then that connected to social media. I don't have a Facebook page yet, but I want to do one and see how I can link everything. So I guess my question is very open as to, you know, kind of like what are your suggestions when you are at the point that you're going to publish your site for the first time?
Publish it. It can't be too soon. It doesn't have to be perfect. Get it up there, because Google's going to crawl it, and it's going to take a while for them to trust it. And just get it up there. Don't overthink it. Don't be a perfectionist. Get it out there. That's the first thing. Okay. Second thing is blogging. You can never blog too much. It's just like a retirement account. How much should I put in my retirement account? Absolutely as much as you can. Right. And there's not an immediate payoff, so no one wants to do it. It's exactly the same. But the truth is you can't do too much. So if you can do a blog a week in the beginning until you start ranking, we recommend it. Okay. If you could do 2 a week, that would be great, but everyone laughs at us with that. No one ever does that. Right? So really, if you can do 1 a week, you really need to build up that momentum and build up those content hubs so that Google can, I mean, just think about it. You're trying to rank for whatever it is, right? And they look out there, and especially you're in New York City, right? So they're going to go, oh my gosh, there's thousands of people who say they do this in New York City. Why is this site worthy of ranking? It's going to be worthy of ranking if it has a huge content hub around it, a well-written, optimized specialty page, and many, many blog posts connected to it. Okay. It's going to stand out as very different than everybody else if you do that. The bigger the hub, the better. The more complex and multifaceted the hub, the better. So if the term is couples counseling, I don't know, I'm just throwing that out, then you're going to want to talk about communication issues and infidelity and parenting disagreements and intimacy issues and financial infidelity issues and date night and how do you do date night on Corona and on and on and on, everything that you could think of, right? That if that is a very multifaceted, full content hub, it's going to outrank other people. And of course, in New York City, you're going for neighborhoods, right? You're never going to rank for couples counseling in New York City. So you're going to have to go where, I don't know where you are, Upper East Side, Upper West.
I'm in Midtown West.
Midtown West. So you're going to want to have Midtown West on your site. Of course, they know where you are with your address, but you also want to say Midtown West, and you want to say Midtown West on your contact page.
But Midtown, you mean like as part of the address or what?
Yeah, you basically just say my office is in Midtown West.
Okay.
You know, couples counseling in Midtown West, whatever. You
Okay.
don't want to put it all over the place, but you want to put it like in your footer, in your header, and on your contact page.
Could you say that one more time, what you just said?
Since she's in New York City, she's going to focus on neighborhoods, not on ranking throughout New York City. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And we have plenty of people who are doing extremely well in New York City with neighborhoods.
Yeah.
East Village, Greenwich Village, you know, Upper East, Upper West, etc. Union Square. Yeah, they're ranking very well and getting tons of calls. So it's totally doable, but you got to have that rich content. You got to keep going. Okay.
And usually blog, I mean, I know I haven't watched all the videos about blogging, but generally like an average blog.
600 to 800 words.
600 to 800 words. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the link in between the blog and the specialties is just because of the words that you use, or is there something else that you do for that link to happen somehow?
Just go to good old April Lyons again. Poor April Lyons. So what you do is, since the blogs are going to be sitting in the sidebar, you guys can see my screen?
No, not yet. You're
not yet.
I have a real problem with that.
We'll help you.
I think I'm sharing and I'm not. Okay, here we are. So here's the PTSD treatment page, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice long content, blah, 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 blah. Blog posts are sitting over here in the sidebar. Because they're in the sidebar, that means this page is linking out to this blog post, right? Because this is a link. So this is a link. We can go to any of these blog posts. And when we go there, we can read the blog post. And at the bottom of the blog post, it links back to the specialty page with the anchor text of the name of the specialty page.
Okay.
Okay. So that is key, using that anchor text, because that's telling Google this page is related to that specialty page. Okay. So this is what's helping it rank. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you suggest, I mean, the idea is like to insert in the specialty page, insert somewhere those blog posts once you do them.
If you put them in the sidebar, it's great because they're all just automatically there. You set up that unique sidebar. If you go watch the section on that, on those specialty pages, sidebars. And then you can populate it by category. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep. Okay, David, do you have a question today?
Not really. I was mostly just checking it out. But I was wondering if we do a lot of blogs about Corona, then when this thing dies down, what do you want to do about that? Still keep them up there, or just modify them to deal with everyday life, or?
Who knows? I can't even think that far in advance. There's, pros and cons that I could think of right now. If you leave it up there, you really showed up during coronavirus, and you're going to show up when there's the next thing, right? Whatever. It's not a bad thing to have there. But if it totally dies down and no one wants to hear about it anymore, we'll get a sense of our sentiment in our world when that happens. Then you could go in and modify them. Yeah. But, my sense right now is it's going to be okay to have them be there. Because it's going to show that you actually really showed up and you were timely and tuned in to people when the need was there.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay. Peter, are you there yet? Nope. The ghost of Peter. Okay. All right. I'm just going to open it up then. Who has the next question?
I have another one, if no one else has something burning at the moment. As I look through websites and some of the ones to which you referred, I noticed that many of them are saying copyright and this year's date. Is it important to copyright each year, to copyright your website each year or not?
Not really. We typically do a thing. Hey, it's January. Let's update our date.
Okay.
So that we look current and alive and still in business.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's really a formality anyway, because anything that's on your site is yours. You own the intellectual property as long as you wrote it and you didn't steal it from someone else.
Right.
So it's a formality, but it's just something that basically says, "Hey, I'm really in business.
Okay.
I'm copywriting, and I'm still alive, and updating my date every year."
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And one of the other questions is, considering the current situation, do you think it's necessary for a website to have a full page devoted to online? Well, see, I do workshops and not therapy.
Yeah.
So is it important for us to have one page just on online therapy or online workshops, rather, for me?
I think it would be a good idea, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if you got the email I sent out to everybody on my list about my recommendations for COVID, but I had done some keyword research on what people were looking for, and they were actually asking a bunch of questions about this online therapy thing. So I would think with online workshops, it's going to be the same way. You know, is it really as effective as it is face-to-face? You know, how does the technology work? And in your case with workshops, how do you interact with people within the workshop when you're doing it online now, whatever. So people do want to be reassured that it's actually going to be effective before they spend money.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
You could blog about online therapy just like anything else, right?
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely do that. And you could, you know, I mean, you can treat that whole online therapy page as a specialty page, as a content hub. Right. And you could put more things on, more blog posts about online therapy connected to it if you wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think April Lyons has done that. Maybe you wrote her blog post for her, Becky, but she's got tons already on her site about linked to online therapy.
Yeah, probably. I know that she blogs with us. So
anyway.
Yeah.
Related to the COVID topic, I originally wrote this big long blog post about COVID and trauma, and it's doing exceptionally well in terms of driving traffic. I don't really like having my specialty pages lead with this kind of big excerpt from that blog post about COVID. So is there somewhere else we could put it besides just at the top? Could we put it at the bottom, or?
You know, the thing is, here's what you're protecting from. You don't want to appear to be tone deaf. So this is the number one thing on everyone's mind right now, whether trauma is the issue or anxiety or depression or couples issues or whatever. It is the number one thing that every one of us is thinking about more times per day than regular old anxiety, depression, couples issues, whatever. So if you lead with it just in a little call out that basically is saying, hey, this is what we're going through right now. I'm with you. You acknowledge that it's happening, and then you go into your regular page. That's the best way to do it, because otherwise you're going to appear to be out of touch. And that's the worst thing you can do as a helper.
Yeah. And can you do a call out box on Squarespace? Because I've not figured out a way to do that.
Yeah. In fact, I'll post something in the Facebook group on how to do it.
Great.
I'm going to show you guys a site right now. I don't know. I might have showed this in the workshop recently, but here's a Squarespace site. Oh, I hate how Zoom takes up my whole screen here. Sorry, you guys. Having a hard time here. So this is it's the site, Deborah, since you can't see, is Jerlee, Jerilea, Kroll, KROLL.com. And her child therapy page has at the, it has the banner, and then it basically has this COVID text box right top left next to an image of a kid. So basically saying, hey, I know that we're in unusual times, right? It's acknowledging this is happening, and then it goes into the regular page. And so when COVID's over, she can just take off this whole top thing, and it just pops into the title of her page and the rest of it. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
post something in the forum on Facebook about how to do that.
And how to do the call out box. I will in Squarespace.
Yes, please.
Yes, we'll do.
Thank you.
Okay, let me stop share. Okay, next question.
So Becky, in terms of social media.
Oh yeah, you asked
could
that.
you? Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it was a huge question, so I was just waiting to see if I had a little more time.
No, you do. Yeah. So here's the thing with social media. We don't really worry about it a whole lot. Okay? People don't go out to Facebook and use it as a search engine and look for anxiety treatment, couples counseling. They don't do that. Now, you can use it if you have a Facebook page for your business.
Mm-hmm.
You should be writing blog posts, as we just went through, right? For a month in the beginning. You could post those out there, but that's not really going to do a whole lot of good, because what is really required for social media to work is that you are extremely active on your page. You're posting a lot of information, not only your own, but from other thought leaders in the field. And usually you have to put money behind it in order to get reach. So Facebook doesn't show your stuff even to your own followers. They will only show it to 10% of your followers. Okay? Unless you put money behind it and boost it or put stuff out there. So that's one way to make Facebook work, is put money behind it. Another is to just network like hell. Just go out into all these groups and become members of these groups and talk it up and build a following and go for it, right? So, and I'll tell you, I'll just tell you my own experience. I have a Facebook group, right? Online. I have 76, nearing 7,700 therapists out there. This last workshop was the first time ever that I monetized that group. Up until, years, it's just been building relationship. No, and if I posted something about a webinar, fell on deaf ears. That's not what people are there for. They're there to yak it up and talk about things and find out who's using Simple Practice and how's it working, and this, that, and the other thing, right? What should I do about this client? They don't really want to be sold to. So it's not the best platform unless you're really paying for ads and really enticing people. You're going to have to work hard. So we just kind of ignore it. We have a link on our site that says, I have a Facebook page, so that someone could see, oh, this is a real business. They have a Facebook page. Great. They could click on that. They could go to your Facebook page. Hopefully you have a couple of blog posts in there, and they go, okay, you're real. But you're not going to get clients from it, most likely, unless you do something extraordinary. That's the Facebook according to Becky. Some people will tell you, oh, we're spending $5,000 a month in ads and it's working. Great. Not many therapists I know are going to do that.
Sure. Yeah. And when you say, conservative spending would be what? That is not $5,000, but as you said, maybe boost a little bit,
boost
more or less
here and there. I don't really think it's still going to help you.
Yeah. Okay.
Some people, at one point I recommended Jennifer Sneeden's Facebook. Supposedly she had this great, approach to make this work. And some people.
No.
I know.
I did it. It's a waste of money.
And you're not the only one who did it. There are some people.
I know.
Other people that were longtime clients that I recommended, and I really regretted that I ever sent them there. Okay. She just stopped talking to people when it didn't work. She just refused to talk to you. That's not good. So anyway, I I have been waiting for years for someone to say, here is exactly how to make it work for therapists. And I've not seen it. I'm still waiting. I would pay someone $200 to take me through an ad that works, a campaign that works. I would, if you guys ever hear of someone who really says it works, tell me, because I will pay them to teach me how to do it or to show me it really works. I haven't yet seen that it works. Okay. So sorry. So
and the same thing with Instagram.
Yeah.
Right.
You can gather a whole bunch of followers on Instagram. Monetizing Instagram is a whole different story. Yeah.
This is such a relief.
No, you can spend your life doing it, you guys. Yeah, I have been spending a lot of money on Facebook, up to $5,000 for my business, and we would get it working for a little while and then not.
Wow.
So it is hard, and we can target our people. We know who therapists are. So we have the targeting part down. You guys have a harder time even targeting. How do you target a depressed person?
Yeah.
How do you target somebody who has couples issues? Right? It is very hard. So I just wouldn't go there. You have better, better things that you can do with your time and your money.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
In my opinion.
I have to say that is such a relief.
I agree.
Yes.
Becky, as you say, go ahead and put the Facebook logo on your page. What about LinkedIn?
Yeah, do that too. You're a professional.
Okay.
Put it out there. Show that you're in a professional directory. I mean, in essence, that's what LinkedIn is, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And certainly if you're on Psychology Today or goodtherapy.org, or you belong to the APA or ATA or any of that stuff, or, Gottman or EFT or anything, any icons that you can put them in your footer. Okay. It's credibility building.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this website called 3bestrated.com?
What is it called?
It's called 3bestrated.com.
Huh.
They pick like the 3 best practitioners, like chiropractors and psychologists and hairdressers and things like that.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
They just sent me an email. They chose me as one of the 3 best psychologists in Las Vegas. And they say they have this 6-point process where they check things like your website and your reviews and your location.
And then they want money from you, right?
For a plaque or something.
They aren't asking for money, so it seems legit, and they don't want anything from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, if they don't want anything from you, then go for it. But read the fine print. Make sure they really, really don't.
This one, is this something to leverage to put on my website, or put it as some kind of thing on the sidebar or something like that?
If it's really a freebie, you could put it in the sidebar or in the bottom, like in the icon area, where you might have Psychology Today and stuff like that. Usually there's no free lunch though. So just, go back and say, what is this? My guess is that somewhere along the line, they're going to say, we either want you to write for our site once a month, or we want money, or who knows? I don't know.
Or you pay hundreds of dollars to buy a hardbound copy of this thing, like a vanity thing,
Yeah. Coffee table book or something. Who knows? I mean, I know we're raining on your parade. Sorry about that. Don't mean to rain on your parade, but just proceed cautiously is what I would say. But if it's legit and it doesn't cost money, then what the heck? It's not going to hurt to, we all know they know nothing about you as a psychologist, right? Because they haven't actually done sessions with you or whatever. But you probably do have one of the best sites in your town, because of the way you've done it. And the layperson doesn't know. And so it could actually sound good to the layperson. So it could be a bonus, a social proof type thing. Could actually be. It just probably isn't worth paying a bunch of money. So I'd want to find out what they're doing.
Yeah, they say businesses do not pay us to list them ever. You do not pay us for the listing at any time. We believe local businesses provide better and personal services locally. Local businesses know your city better since they live there too. our policy is free to list, because if you can pay to list, then is it really the best business? So,
well, check it out and see. Yeah.
Located in Texas or something like that. But if I list the link to the site, it has me plus the other 2 people. So then
that's okay.
So then
That's okay. Better to be one of the top 3 than 1 in 1,000 in the town.
So I shouldn't have to worry about maybe leading them to my competition or something like that.
Nah, I wouldn't worry about that. Your site probably has you ranking, I mean, showcasing yourself so much better than the other 2 anyway. That would be my guess.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Let us know. Put it in the Facebook group what you find out.
Okay.
Be interested. Yes.
Speaking of that program that David has just mentioned, some webinars that I've been on have talked about Listing Pro, and it's like, I don't know, 50 different listings where they say you should be on all those listings. So I'm just wondering if you are aware of that. I imagine you are, and what your thoughts are about that, and is it a waste of time?
We used to do all that stuff, and we have not done that in like 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And we still have more page 1 rankings than anybody in our field.
Okay, so it's, if you're trying to better energy spent on your website and blogging. Okay, got it.
And yes.
Okay.
And how many people do you know that go look for a therapist in yellowpages.com or onlineyellowpages.com or yext.com or whatever the hell it is, right? Nobody ever. Yeah. So it's, I don't know. It's kind of, it was all the rage 5 years ago, and we've just ignored it because we just started getting results without worrying about all that stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
There may still be some old training in the PPU archives on that, but we just ignore it. So.
Okay. Thank you.
It's one of the old link building things. It's all about link building. And we just don't do that. It's not like it's going to hurt you, but is it really that valuable and worth the time? If you have good content, you typically get there anyway.
Okay. I have something to share before we end today, but I want to make room for others' questions because I learned so much from them.
Sure. Is there anything else, anyone?
Becky, I have something maybe similar of a sharing nature, but also of a question. Okay. As I've been reviewing my keywords recently and been using Uber Suggest more, it looks to me like there's more available on Uber Suggest than just a keyword search tool. It looks to me like it might be a possible alternative to SERPFox, maybe Ahrefs. Are you familiar at all with any of these other functions from Uber Suggest? And if so, do you have any thoughts or recommendations about it? Hello?
Can't tell if she's frozen. Becky, it appears you may be frozen. Oh, she's logging out and logging back.
Okay.
I don't know if she heard your question. It must be very difficult just by phone.
Actually, it's easier. And that's why I'm doing this by phone, because my eyes needed a break from looking at a screen.
I hear you. I hear you.
It's lower tech. Yeah. Well, has anybody else besides Becky used Uber Suggest very much?
I'm not familiar with it. David or Marcella, have you?
No, I haven't. This is Marcella. I haven't used it.
David?
I've looked at it, but haven't used it too much. What's the question about it?
Well, I've just been using it as I've been reviewing my keywords, and it looks to me like and I really like it as a keyword evaluator. And yes, Becky's right, it can be slow. But beside that, I like it as a keyword research tool. But it looks to me that you can use it perhaps to track your rankings. You can use it to, and I'm not at all sure what Ahrefs does because I've not used it myself, but Becky, that's a tool that Becky uses, I think, quite a lot to see what other websites are ranking for example. I think you might be able to do all of those things on Ubersuggest as well, and that's what my question is about, if Becky's familiar with any of that, or any of you, and if so, what your thoughts are, because it's a much more reasonable cost than Ahrefs.
Uh-huh.
They do have a free option, but you can get to a point where you've used up all your searches per day or per week or whatever, and then you have to wait or else you have to pay. But the cost is very low compared to other similar kind of resources. And it's Neil Patel, so he's one of the big gurus in SEO. He's somebody that Becky refers to from time to time.
Right. Yeah, I don't know for sure. I know with those paid sites, sometimes I just subscribe for a month and then just do a whole bunch of research for that month, and then I log off of it. So
Right.
as a recurring cost.
Right, so. Right. You can do that as well. Well, we lost Becky.
I think so. Deborah, would you share what it is you prefer about Ubersuggest compared to SERPFox?
Well, like I said in my question about SERPFox, it's hard for me. I don't get a report. It says It's supposed to give me a monthly report, and Becky said she doesn't like that, so she goes in. To me, Ubersuggest is more intuitive, and it's more robust. It will give you keyword ideas. You can look and see. It'll give you, much like Keyword Finder, other websites that are ranking well for those terms. It gives you alternate keyword ideas. It can give you content ideas, like topics to write about, for blog post ideas. You can go play with it for free. It's ubersuggest.com. And as I've been spending more time on it lately, it looks attractive to me for more than just keyword research.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for sharing that and saying more about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as I said, right now it's free, whereas Keyword Finder, at one point you had was free for a limited amount of searches. Now is it like 10 a day or 5 keywords a day or something? That's all you can do for free on Keyword Finder.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do much of a robust analysis. Mm-hmm. If they're only dripping you 5 or 10 keywords a day.
Right.
Wow. Well, we have like 10 minutes left.
Right. And it's looking as if she may not come back on. I'm just beginning to wonder if maybe she has internet issues from her home, and that's what's thrown her off.
Or her dog or cat.
Yes, they got into a fight.
Yeah. Well, but she actually just went totally off, and she froze before she did that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Well, I'll give a shout out for her. I was on one of these calls, a couple or 3 months ago, and she was talking about getting reviews on Google, on your Google My Business page. And so I followed her advice, and literally within 4 days, I was already a 5-star review, and I started out, had 5 stars on Google, and I started out with no stars. And so, I had asked her, everybody talks about we need reviews. As therapists, we can't ask our couples for reviews. So what she told me to do was to go to therapists who refer to me and ask them to write the review. And then she sort of gave me a detailed sort of a prescription for how they should write it. And they were all, everyone no one I contacted, there was one person I contacted who did not get back to me. And usually she does, so I don't know what that was about. But all the others got right back to me, or didn't get back to me. They posted it, because they had to go in and post it themselves. So it requires a little work, but we'll see. I'm hoping that it's going to, be beneficial and boost workshop registrants.
And did she give you, is there like a template, or did she give you anything written to follow, or how did that?
No, it wasn't.
How did you know how to do that?
It wasn't anything written. She just gave me 3 or 4 ideas about what to say in it. Let me see if I can. I don't have the copy anymore, but let me see if I can find me. Let's see. Oops. Now I'm having trouble with my keyboard. Okay, let's see. I'll just read one to you, and that'll give you the idea. Okay, let me get this. Oops. There we go. Okay, there they are. Let's see. Let me get into the reviews. Here's one. As a marriage and family therapist, I'm so grateful to be able to refer my couples to Wanda's Hold Me Tight events. She blends her warmth, knowledge, and expertise into her work with couples. My clients have appreciated her ability to attune to where each couple is in their relationship and to support them and experientially changing their ways of interacting. Her experience in working with those dealing with cancer brings a special resource to the San Diego therapy community. So it's why she refers, some information about me, what couples have reported back to her. That seems to be the gist of it. Oh, I lost my place. Now, how do I get back to the others? See if they're all following the same. I apologize that I don't have, let me see if I can go back into an old email, and then, because I did define it for people. Let's see. I shouldn't
because this sounds like, asking people to write a review of a book. You never just ask for somebody to write a review of a book. You give them some guidance. You give them some structure. Sometimes you even give them some examples to get them started.
Exactly.
You never give them a blank page.
No, that's exactly right. And that's what she kind of did in sort of giving me a little outline, but it was verbal, and it was 2 or 3 months ago on these same Q&A days. So and if they're recorded, it should be there. Let me see if I can find one of the people I sent it to, if I still have. Nope, that's not showing up that way.
Would you mind, if you find it, sharing that in the Facebook group? If you have like something that's kind of in the nature of a template kind of idea?
Yes, I'd be happy to. I'm not finding it in my sent emails. I thought I would find it there very quickly, but I'm not. So it may be that I don't have it anymore. But at any rate, I was just stunned and pleased with the results and the fact that they came in so quickly.
Mm-hmm. Great. Good for you.
It was exciting to have feeling of success.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Most of my marketing attempts don't feel very exciting or don't seem to always result in the kind of responses I'd like to be getting.
Sure. Well, good for you, Wanda. That's great.
Well, it was, Becky. Becky did it, thanks to her. So. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I may have one here. Okay, let's see. I think I have it. I appreciate it if you write about. Okay, well, I have one. This is not as detailed. Shoot, I know. Oh, my internet's down. That's why I'm struggling. Okay, take it back online. There we go. Let's see. Okay. I'm struggling. I'm going to have to do some more research. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. Thank you for sharing anyway.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Maybe I stuck it under marketing. Hold on.
We do that, don't we? Like, okay, where did I
know
put
where.
that?
Yeah, where did I file it? It's not under marketing. Shucks. Okay. Well, we have maybe one more minute, guys. I think we just lost her for the whole time.
I think we did.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if I can't find it, someone could post on the Facebook page asking her how to do it, and I'm sure she would.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, she would recall it and do a good job, because I am not finding it in any of the possible places that are coming to mind where I might have stored it. So, yeah. Yep. Well, I enjoyed your questions today, and I'm going to sign off.
I think I am too.
Don't see Becky coming back at the moment. So
I'm sure she'll.
Go ahead, Deborah.
She'll probably post what happened. She'll probably post what happened in the Facebook group. But yeah, it's been a great call, and have a great month, everybody.
Yes, you too. Stay well. Everyone stay well.
Thank you.
Thank you for your questions.
Yes, stay well.
They were helpful.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.